It's All You Can Vegas. Hey everybody, it's Derek, and in today's video we're talking parking in Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip, the parking fees, the charges, the pay to park changes that have been happening up and down the Las Vegas Strip. So let's get moving, and as we drive I will tell you everything you need to know about parking on the Strip in Las Vegas. If you're new to my channel, thanks for joining me, and if you want to learn everything there is to know about Las Vegas food, Las Vegas restaurants, and most of all, Las Vegas buffets, well, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll always know when I upload a new video. Today we're talking about the hotel casino parking fees in Las Vegas. Which casinos have them, which casinos don't, how much you'll pay for self-parking and how much you'll pay for valet, and how to avoid parking fees altogether. So, what's the deal with paid parking in Las Vegas? Well, Las Vegas has always had a history of free parking, and one of the incentives the casinos would use to get you to go gamble. But after the economic collapse of 2007, 2008, Las Vegas casinos, like many other businesses, began cutting corners, cutting jobs, and raising prices. As perks vanished, fees appeared. Resort fees tacked onto the room rates to disguise actual prices, and parking fees to get money out of gamblers before they even set foot in a casino. So nowadays, even if you just go to a casino to eat at a restaurant, you have to pay to park. And not all casinos charge for parking, but most do these days. The Wynn Las Vegas is the latest casino property to introduce paid parking for their parking structure that for the entire history of the Wynn and Encore was free, but now you have to pay. And Caesars just raised the prices for their total rewards properties. But the company that started it all is MGM. So let's start with them. Now the MGM properties include Mandalay Bay, Luxor Excalibur, New York, New York, Monte Carlo, Aria, the Mirage, the Palazzo, and MGM Grand. So here's what it's going to cost you. Now the good news is the first hour at all MGM properties is free. So if you can run into a casino and throw some bets on the table, or grab a quick bite to eat at a fancy restaurant in under an hour, between the time you enter the parking garage and the time that you're heading out to pay at the kiosk, well then, no problem. But most people, like myself, like to stay at the casino for hours and hours and hours. And those hours are going to add up. In fact, every 24 hours, it's going to cost you $10 at Luxor, Excalibur, and Monte Carlo, $12 at Mandalay Bay, the Mirage, New York, New York, and MGM Grand, and $15 at Aria and Bellagio. Now, if you're only going to be there an hour or two, well, it can range from $5 to $7 depending on the property, and if you're there for 2 to 4 hours, it's $8 to $12. But if you're there that long, well, you might as well just stay all day and all night. Now, if you prefer to valet your car, you can certainly do that, and it's a lot easier. It's $15 for the first 4 hours, or $20 for every 24 hours. Except for Aria and Bellagio, fancier properties, of course. That's $20 for the first 4 hours, and then $25 for every 24-hour period thereafter. If you're staying at Aria and you had hoped to park at the Cosmopolitan, well, they had held out for the longest time and didn't charge for parking, being the scrappy upstart in the center of the Strip. But they caved. Now they've gone for the money grab too. I mean, you can't really blame them. Everyone was parking there and heading over to Aria and Planet Hollywood. The Cosmo parking, it's free for the first hour, $7 for the first 4 hours, and then it's $10 every 24 hours. Now, speaking of Planet Hollywood, that's a total rewards casino, but they're not charging for parking. It's because there's a mall there, the Miracle Mile shops, and I guess they'd rather have people come spend the money in the shops than be kept away by a fee for parking. Now, while the other total rewards casinos, with the exception of Rio, which is a bit off the Strip, do charge for parking, so let's break it down. The good news is that they make the parking charges super easy to understand. It's free for the first hour. It's $7 for the first 4 hours, and every 24 hours it's $10. And that's it. That's all the properties. Paris, Bally's, Caesar's Palace, Flamingo, the Cromwell, the Link, Harrah's, all the same price. The bad news is you have to pay for parking. The Total Rewards properties also have valet, and it's going to cost you $13 for up to 4 hours and $18 a day. Plus tip, which you don't pay when you self-park, or when you don't park at a casino that charges for parking. And there are a couple casinos still on the Las Vegas Strip that do not charge for parking. We'll get to those in just a second. First, I've got to break the bad news. Wynn and Encore, now as of August 2017, charge for parking. So if you enjoy frequenting the Wynn and the Encore, well, you're gonna have to pay. How much? That's about the same as everywhere else. First hour's free, $7 for the first 2 hours, $12 for the first 4, $15 for up to 24 hours, and every 24 hours thereafter. Of course, being higher end properties, the Wynn and the Encore, maybe you want a valet. And if that's the case, it's going to cost you $15 for up to 4 hours, or $20 for 24 hours. And then you can go inside the Wynn and win. You'll just have about $20 less to gamble with than you would have had before the paid parking. All right, so let's say you want to keep all your money just for gambling in Las Vegas. None of this parking fee garbage. Well, there are some places where you can still park for free. Where are these places? Do they truly exist? Yes, they do. I can assure you, I've seen them, and now I'm going to show them to you. First up, it's Casino Royale. Now, Casino Royale is a tiny casino located right next to Harrah's and the Venetian, right in between them. It's right across from the Mirage, see Caesar's Palace, Forum, shops. It's a prime location. It's just a small... It's a Best Western, okay? Let's just be frank. Casino Royale is a Best Western that's happened to have been sitting in the middle of the Strip for decades, as all of the casinos have grown grander and grander around it. Casino Royale still remembers where it came from, and it came from Best Western. And it still offers free parking. So it's hard to beat that location unless you go to the Venetian, because the Venetian and the Palazzo both still offer free parking. When will the madness end? I don't know. Probably soon. In fact, if you can afford it, I'd suggest stay at the Venetian or Palazzo, because the location is right across the street from Treasure Island and Wynn. You have Wynn to the north and Encore. You have Treasure Island across the street to the west. And of course you have Casino Royale right there next door to the south. Or if your tastes steer more towards something in between Casino Royale and the Venetian, well, check out Treasure Island. It's right there in the same area, and it also has free parking. It's kind of remarkable that that place still has free parking. Ever since it was spun off from MGM and became its own self-contained casino, I'm surprised they still have the monorail running in between the tube between Mirage and Treasure Island, but they do. It's not operating all the time, every day, but it's still up and running. So you can certainly park for free at Treasure Island. You don't have to stay there. And then you can hit the tram to the Mirage. Even check out Casino Royale. This end of the Strip has not just some great casinos and casino games, but some amazing restaurants. I mean, at the Venetian and at Wynn, if you like Outback Steakhouse, there's one at Casino Royale. There's also a pretty decent steakhouse at Circus famed casino for having a circus tent and acrobats and crazy circus freaks. And all of that they've had here on the north end of the Strip since 1968. And you know what else they've had since 1968? Free parking. And they still have free self-parking. Now they do charge for valet. If you're into valeting at Circus Circus, it will cost you $15 or $10 for up to 4 hours. But just self-park, it's free. Two other places at this end of the Strip that offer free parking: the SLS, formerly known as the Sahara, and the Stratosphere, formerly known as Vegas World, but that was a long time ago. Starting to seem like too long ago because of how much has changed in Las Vegas just in the last few years. You could say that a lot has changed in Las Vegas since the days of the Rat Pack in the 50s and 60s, and it certainly has. But the Vegas that I remember from the 70s, of course that's from the TV show Vegas with Robert Urich, or the 90s when I first started coming out to Las Vegas, or certainly in the 2000s when so much of the modern cityscape of Las Vegas came into full fruition, a lot has changed. I mean, it's a pretty sure bet that Las Vegas is always changing. There's a new casino that opens up every few years. Even still after the economic crisis, Aria and all of City Center opened just about on schedule in 2009. And of course, Cosmopolitan opened in 2010. And Resorts World is coming soon. That big lot that used to be the Stardust. And what's going to happen to the Riviera? Well, it's gone. And there's going to be a new convention center parking lot. I guess all change in Vegas isn't for the better. That's certainly how I feel about the parking fees and all the resort fees and the surcharges at restaurants. And I mean, this stuff has creeped up on the Las Vegas tourist in a way that I'm sure most people never even noticed. I would imagine if people just looked at their credit card statements, they might think, wait a minute, what? I mean, I understand part of visiting Las Vegas is an escape from reality. It's a fantasy world. The whole city is based on dreams and a certain amount of unreality. In fact, it's probably all totally unreal, in the sense that everything is manufactured to make you feel like you're a winner. And winners don't pay for parking. Well, that's how I feel anyway. Hey, if you've been watching the video this far, I should point out there's one casino on the Strip with free parking that I haven't mentioned yet. Do you know what it is? I'll give you a hint. It's on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana. Let me repeat, and Tropicana. In fact, I'll give you another hint. It's not MGM Grand or New York, New York, or Excalibur. And it's not Hooters, although Hooters also has free parking. But it's not technically on the Strip. Now, those are the casinos that have free parking up and down the Las Vegas Strip, from Mandalay Bay all the way up to the Stratosphere and back. Now, there's plenty of other casinos in Las Vegas that aren't too far from the Strip, and they all have free parking. The Rio has free parking, the Palms, the Gold Coast, the Orleans. Now, downtown is a whole different story. Most of the parking is free. Some require validation at a table game. That's how it works at the Four Queens. but all of that could change at a moment's notice. Now, you may be saying to yourself or to me, Derek, why are you so concerned about parking fees? Fees are a fact of life. Well, that's where the casinos gotcha. I know hotels across the world charge for parking, and that is definitely a fact of reality. Like I just said, Vegas isn't exactly reality, and it shouldn't be. And here's why. Las Vegas is a place where people come to escape reality. It's the one place where the entire city runs on fantasy, on possibility, on the chance that it's now your chance to be the biggest winner of all. That's not involved in the parking fees you pay at other hotels around the world. And there's a reason some hotels in big cities charge for parking. There's no space for all the people that want to park. But in Vegas, there's nothing but space everywhere. There's land as far as the eye can see. There is so many places to park in Vegas, and parking has always been free. But even more importantly, the difference is that in Las Vegas, people are gambling. They go to Vegas to gamble. They go to Vegas to risk their money. You don't check into the Hyatt in Miami or San Francisco or Honolulu and risk your money. At least not on purpose. But in Vegas, you do. And for that reason, it is different in Las Vegas. Now, the casinos have long had a history of incentives to get people to come to Vegas to gamble the money, because the odds are in the casino's favor. So the more people come out, the more gambling there is, the more money the casino makes. Why do they have to stick it to their customers before they even start playing the games? I don't like it, and I'm doing everything I can to avoid it. Now, there are ways around these fees. If you're a high enough level gambler, well, of course, you'll get your parking free along with all the other freebies that you get as a high roller. Sometimes it doesn't even take that much play to get perks at casinos, but to get the parking for free, well, you've got to at least be Pearl at MGM or Platinum at Caesars, and that'll take tens of thousands of dollars of coin in on slots, and who knows how they're rating people on table games these days to qualify them for free parking. I'm still looking for that perfect way to avoid the fees of Las Vegas. Sure, I could get the MGM credit card or the Total Rewards credit card, but that only gets you certain perks. It does get you free parking, but then you have to keep that credit active. I'm starting to think it's all about the money. The hard truth is, you just have to pay to park to go to a casino in today's Las Vegas. That's not the Las Vegas I remember. I want to give the casinos my money the old-fashioned way, by throwing it away on slot machines and table games and on Keno tickets. I made this video because I wanted to let you all know what are the current fees to park at casinos in Las Vegas and what you can possibly do to avoid those casinos or those charges. I mean, the easiest way is to avoid the casinos that charge for parking. But there's a lot of great, fun, exciting places to go in Las Vegas where you now have to pay to park. I hope this video helped. Let me know if the parking fees in Las Vegas are worth paying to you. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. leave a comment and let me know what you think about parking fees in Las Vegas. And be sure to subscribe for more, because there's always more to eat, do, see, and places to park. There's plenty of them when it's all you can Vegas.